Some of the most breathtaking landscapes on Earth exist inside national parks. Towering mountains, endless forests, frozen lakes, deep canyons, and silent valleys stretch far beyond the reach of human life. Welcome to Xfinity Evolution, where history comes alive and legends are reborn. These places are often described as nature in its purest form, untouched, peaceful, and alive in a way cities can never replicate. Every year, millions of people step into these wilderness areas seeking adventure, clarity, and escape from the noise of modern existence. But beneath this beauty lies a reality far more unsettling than most ever consider. Because in these same vast and peaceful landscapes, there are countless stories of people who entered and never returned. Across different parts of the world, especially in remote national parks and deep forest reserves, thousands of missing persons cases remain unresolved. At first glance, many of these disappearances appear ordinary: accidents, wrong turns, sudden weather changes, or simple human error. But as investigators dig deeper, certain cases begin to defy logic. People vanish suddenly, sometimes within minutes, and often under conditions where everything seemed completely safe just moments earlier. In many of these situations, no trace is ever recovered, no footprints leading away, no belongings dropped and escaped, and no clear evidence of struggle or direction. Just silence, where a person once was. One of the most haunting real-life cases is that of Dennis Martin, a 6-year-old boy who disappeared in 1969 while hiking with his family in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. It was a normal day, surrounded by other children and family members. At one moment, he was playing just a short distance from the trail. Within minutes, he vanished into the forest. What followed was one of the largest search operations in the park's history. Hundreds of searchers, helicopters sweeping the skies, and even military assistance brought in to assist. Yet despite all of this effort, no confirmed trace of Dennis was ever found. The forest gave no answers, only silence that still lingers decades later. Another deeply disturbing case is the disappearance of Gary Mathias and 4 other young men in 1978 near the Plumas National Forest. Their vehicle was found abandoned deep in the mountains, far from their intended route and far from any logical destination. Months later, partial remains were discovered in scattered and unusual locations, places that raised more questions than answers. The positioning and distribution suggested confusion, disorientation, and movement that did not align with normal survival behavior. Even today, investigators cannot fully reconstruct their final journey, leaving behind one of the most puzzling wilderness mysteries ever recorded. In more recent times, similar disappearances continue to surface across various national parks. Experienced hikers, people trained in navigation, survival, and outdoor awareness, have vanished in areas considered relatively safe. Some disappear just a short distance from marked trails or established campsites. Others are last seen in communication with companions, only for contact to break suddenly and permanently. Search teams often respond within hours, deploying advanced tools such as helicopters, drones, GPS tracking systems, and trained search dogs. Yet in certain cases, all these efforts lead to the same outcome: nothing. The trail simply ends, as if the person was removed from the landscape without leaving a single clue behind. What makes these cases even more difficult to comprehend is the nature of the environment itself. National parks are not controlled spaces. They are living, evolving ecosystems. Weather can shift without warning. A clear sky can turn into dense fog in minutes. Forests can become disorienting walls where direction loses meaning. Rivers can rise rapidly after rainfall, and rugged terrain can break even the strongest sense of orientation. In such conditions, it is entirely possible for people to become lost, injured, or overwhelmed by nature's force. Yet, despite these natural explanations, certain disappearances continue to challenge understanding. There are documented cases where search teams have repeatedly covered the exact area where a person was last seen, sometimes multiple times, without finding any physical evidence at all. In other situations, scent trails followed by trained search dogs suddenly stop without transition, as if the presence of the individual simply ends at a precise point. No continuation, no direction, no logical explanation. for families left behind, the impact is something that never truly fades. There is no closure, no final moment of understanding, and no clear ending to accept. Only uncertainty remains, stretching across years and sometimes decades. Many families return to the same parks again and again, walking the same paths, retracing the last known steps, searching for even the smallest clue that might bring meaning to the disappearance. But more often than not, the wilderness offers nothing in return except time and silence. Despite these mysteries, national parks continue to welcome millions of visitors each year. People still hike their trails, camp under open skies, and explore landscapes that feel untouched by the modern world. For most, these journeys end in safety, leaving behind memories of beauty, peace, and discovery. But for those who know these stories, there is always a quiet awareness that beneath the calm surface of nature lies something far more unpredictable, a force that does not always reveal its secrets, no matter how deeply it is searched. And so the question remains, repeated across every unresolved case: how can someone vanish so completely in places that are constantly explored, mapped, and monitored? Is it simply the overwhelming power of nature combined with human vulnerability? Or are there aspects of these vast wildernesses that remain beyond our understanding even today? In the end, national parks exist as a paradox that continues to haunt the imagination. They are symbols of beauty, freedom, and life, yet at the same time, they are places where silence becomes the final response, and where people, once seen walking into nature, are never seen walking back out again. If you want to understand how history is unfolding before our eyes, don't miss what comes next. Revisit Xfinity Evolution for deeper insights and powerful stories. Stay informed, stay curious, and join us again on Xfinity Evolution, where the world's biggest events come into focus.